say you don't like other guys fucking your wife, and that's what's causing all this stress and trouble for you, and stop trying to like evolve past it. You know, like you don't like when guys fuck your wife, which is the most relatable thing, right? Like, I would not like if guys fucked my wife. I would hate that, dude. I would hate that. And there's one thing that I could do, which would be divorce her so that guys wouldn't fuck my wife anymore.
Because she wouldn't be your wife anymore.
Because she wouldn't be my wife.
Right.
And it's just like, and he's like, you're writing, first of all, the audacity to write like a
But he's been
self-help book, like when guys fuck your wife. There's just something about people fucking your wife.
All right, Montreal, first time.
Yeah.
Nah, like
It's not first time, but...
No, dude. I've been here a lot.
A lot?
Yeah.
And you didn't have Haitian food?
No, I haven't had Haitian food. You didn't bring me shit. Because you don't believe in it.
I believe in it.
You don't believe
but
in it,
I know
bro.
that's your rush.
No. Ain't no rush, dude. I'm chilling.
Fine, I'm ordering right now.
Let's go.
Man's
Let's
running
go. Let's go. I know
that shit.
I'm up
2 hours of sleep.
5 o'clock, bro. I'm 38. I can't be up to 5 in the morning. But I was saying to y'all before, and I mean this sincerely, I think Montreal has, I think per capita, maybe best looking women in
on the east side.
Oh no,
East Coast. On the East Coast.
Dude, it's up there with North America, bro.
I think it's the best looking in North America.
I ain't mad at
in terms
it.
of like the men to women ratio and
I
how
ain't mad at
ugly
it.
they are.
That's crazy.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
niggas, you're ugly.
Yeah.
That was
And
They're ugly.
they don't have game.
ugly.
They don't have
Yo,
game.
listen, in terms of
don't?
like,
You don't have to do much.
I mean, we're married out here. You know what I mean? So
Fair, but you don't have to
we're
do
just
much.
observing. This is observations.
You don't have to do
yes,
much.
but if
Trust.
you were to,
I'm trying to bail him out. He's not even agreeing with me, bro.
he got eyes. He got
I got
eyes.
eyes. I worked in the industry, bruv.
Okay.
What you talking about?
Okay.
I've seen what I've seen.
So the girls here are stunningly beautiful. Also, I think there's like I don't think you guys get enough sun to fuck their skin up. Like does that make sense?
That makes sense.
I'm being serious.
That makes sense.
Like white women age pretty well here.
Yes.
And I really think it comes down to that. Like it might be a sun thing.
Now, it's kind of like that Tom Brady thing where everybody thinks there's a cliff coming, but it just seems to get pushed back and pushed back. That's the same thing with white women here. But eventually they're going to fall off a cliff.
You think?
Oh, yeah, they do.
I think that's only a Norwegian thing. Like if you because like Mediterranean white women don't fall off.
No?
No.
Must be like the olive oil or some shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
They don't fall off?
They don't fall off.
I'm not
bro.
going to lie. Italians and Greek women, they do be staying
They stretch it out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Monica Bellucci, bro.
when they got a good hand. When they got dealt a good hand. Because when they don't, there ain't no recuperating that.
Look how long it is for you to find a Haitian restaurant because they don't have them.
I'm talking to you. Calm down. I'm good.
Who are you talking to? Aunts and uncles and shit? You're like, yo, please invent some food and bring it over here in plastic bags so we can act like we got cuisine.
Bro, when I moved here 7 years ago, I was shocked.
Wait a minute, where are you from
About the
again?
girl?
I lived all over. So I lived in Ottawa. I lived in Ethiopia for some time. Lived in Los Angeles. So I lived all over.
Oh, okay. But you were born where?
I was born in Ottawa, but I grew up in Ethiopia.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know you grew up in Ethiopia.
I did.
Oh, shit.
So most of my childhood that I remember was up there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I got my Canadian citizenship,
Damn,
took my
bro.
passport, and peace the fuck out.
I donated to you, man.
No problem.
I
I took all that donation money.
and brought your ass over here.
Yeah. I heard all them jokes. Like, damn, nigga, how you this thick? I'm like, bro, don't ask no questions.
So that's no
You
question.
took all the money.
I took all the money. all the money.
Guys,
No, but when I
this is
moved here
fire.
7 years ago, I was shocked by
Yeah,
how
dude.
attractive the women were. And I was grateful for how ugly the dudes were because it
Yo.
meant zero to little, no competition.
The ratio is staggering.
Yeah.
And why is that, you think? Also, they really like care about themselves. Yo, Canada is a wild place.
But you have to understand
Like,
now, the people
You
that
said
come,
Canada. Montreal is different.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So Montreal is, and I mean this sincerely. It seems like I'm just stroking, but like we were out last night and like, we travel for a living, right? Like we're in all the cities. And there's few great cities in the world. And by that, I mean like you can find greatness in every city, right? Like I was in Cleveland. I'm sure we can go to like some restaurant that like has some really unique experience, blah, blah, blah. But like there's few cities like we were in New Orleans not too long ago, right? And it's like, I don't want it to seem like just the French inspired ones are fire because then French people have too much of ego on that. But like New Orleans was one of those places where you go and you're like, you got to come here.
Yes.
Like you have to spend some time in New Orleans. Montreal is one of those cities. And I think a lot of Americans still haven't discovered Montreal, yo.
And they haven't discovered New Orleans either.
Yeah, but
Because
we got the Mardi Gras shit, so people are at least familiar with it.
But Mardi Gras is its own like time of year where the city's completely different.
And
I
people-
say
and
this-
people-
and I say this because like even if you ask Preach, I tell people if I was to live in America and I could choose any city, if that city wasn't in America, would I live there? It'd be New Orleans.
Really?
I always say that. I love everything about it. I like the mausoleums. I like the fact they can't bury their dead. Everything has to be above ground. I like the fact the houses are all shotgun
can't-
houses, painted in every color possible.
Yeah, that houses are crazy.
They can't bury their dead because
You
they're
go down-
flooded.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
because
true.
then the bodies will rise,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then it's also like you go to the French Quarter and there's like a band on every corner.
Yeah.
You go to bars, it's free
Yeah.
activity. There's amazing jazz.
And people can walk
the
around.
vibe of the city
Crazy.
is one of the most unique in America.
It's always a party.
Yes.
So
yes.
even a funeral is a fucking party.
Yeah, and it's also just like the
Yeah.
Southern manners are there too, so people are mad kind to each other. So my time in New Orleans was like fantastic. So I get what you're saying in terms of that vibe, and I feel the same way about this city as well.
Yeah.
It's
In the
its
summer.
own flavor.
In the summer.
That's the thing. In the winter, this shit is brutal, but in the summer, even come like spring and stuff like that, it's
Yeah.
not that bad.
When
It
people are coming
is-
out?
it is fire.
Yeah.
So you went to that club yesterday, you had some fun?
I was just like, I don't go clubbing like that, man. I'm married. You know what I mean? I'm like chilling, we're on the road, but like I was in this spot and I was like, wow.
The women.
Nah, yeah, I was like, wow. But here's the thing about what's interesting about Canada is like, it's so progressive, right? But the women still really lean into traditional beauty standard shit. Like, it's not like so progressive that they shave the side of their fucking head and they're like strapping their
their
titties
armpits
down.
out there.
Yeah, like it's like we're equal, but I'm gonna get lip injections and I'm gonna make sure
They
that my
got,
makeup's crazy.
but they got waves. They got waves. They got waves. There's some people that do that.
Oh,
that definitely
waves.
do that.
I was like, they
No, not- they don't-
do-rags in
they
the
don't put
club? Like, what the
do-rags.
fuck is going?
Yeah, they got waves.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, they got like a whole fade of shit. No, but they have ways of people growing their armpits. There's people.
okay,
There are definitely people like that.
Okay,
definitely.
okay,
I'm not gonna
okay.
say like, yeah, no, it's not like that. You just seen a parcel of it. You just seen a little bit of it.
I seen the little bougie part.
A little part of it, but there's the rest of them is definitely there. Absolutely.
Yeah. A guy said to me yesterday, he goes, I think he's from here. He goes, you go to Toronto, you could meet a girl, and you know me, I love fucking Toronto. I stand Toronto, but like he goes, you could meet a girl that is white, Asian, black, anything, and they're all similar personality-wise, right? And then he said, the great thing about Montreal is people hold on to like their culture a little bit more. So like you're meeting these different type of people in this place. Do you think that that's true, or you think this guy was just coked up?
It depends for what. It depends for who.
Okay.
It depends for what it is. Like it's
Like, do people fall into a Montreal archetype, or
I think what you saw is not. You keep saying Canada is dope. What you saw
I never
is
said that.
not.
I never said that.
You never said that.
Don't put words in my mouth. Put Haitian food in my mouth, and that is it. It's cooked.
It's already on the way. Don't worry.
It's on the way. It's on the way. But it's like you said. Oh yeah, you love Canada. You see Montreal.
Yeah.
Montreal's not Canada. Toronto's not Canada.
But is that in the same way that like LA is not America or New York is not America? Like
In a way.
a-
If people base their opinion of America based off LA or New York, I feel like they'd have a very warped perception
Yeah.
of America. 'Cause
Yeah.
most of America is not like
But then what is a country? Is a country your most famous cities where you know,
bit of
export the most culture, or is it where the most people live?
Because the majority of the people in that country are not in those big cities.
They're not at all.
So,
But they're
what
proud-
represent really like America, what represent Canada is not Montreal.
Exactly.
Like what the way, listen, for example, the way people vote here, Montreal is one thing. The rest of the province is another thing. Just in the way they vote.
Yeah, your rules were crazy.
Yeah. The rules here
rules here were
in this
crazy.
city were crazy, but outside it was mad chill.
Yeah.
It's the same thing if you go to France. They'd be like, yo, France is not Paris.
No, everybody
Every
hates
French person
Paris.
will tell you that. And everyone outside of Paris
Yeah.
hates Paris.
Oh, I thought that they love it. I thought that
nah.
No, because they're really entitled. People from Paris,
Yeah.
they really
live
don't.
differently.
They
They
live
move
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody,
So, like,
whenever you talk to a French person, you're from France. Yeah. So you're from Paris. No, I'm not. They really dissociate themselves from Paris. Yeah, they do.
Really?
They do. They do. And the people from Paris, they're proud.
Yo, can I say something? I was in Paris with my wife a little while ago.
Yeah.
It was so like homogenous, like it was so similar to New York. Like I like traveling to to go away.
Yes.
And by go away, I don't mean literally physically. I mean like I want to be immersed in a culture I know nothing about. Like, I just take me to a different. Yeah, just take me to a different place. Let me. It's like a fantasy. It's like sci-fi. Right. You know what I mean? Like these kids play Dungeons and Dragons. I go to fucking Mexico City. Right? And it's just like, show me something I don't know about, a life I don't understand.
You don't want to see motherfuckers playing Dungeons and Dragons in Mexico.
Exactly. The same shit. If there's a Zara in New York, there's a Zara. It's like I'm walking down the streets. I'm like, it's all the same restaurants, all the same stores.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Toronto, I think the issue with Toronto is like when I go down there, I feel like everybody shopped at Nordstrom Rack. And I don't feel any kind of individuality generally when I'm in that city. I don't feel that like that vibe. And I think part of it is due to like the pricing of the place, how everyone's getting priced out slowly but surely. And I feel like just the vibe of the general spot. It's like it's got diversity, but also like it's just mostly ugly diversity. So like most of the people are like kind of nasty looking, right? So they got a bit of everything, but it's not great. You know what I'm saying? Whereas here, I feel like it's opposite. And also, I think one of the reasons why women...
What do you mean it's got ugly diversity?
Yeah, it's like you get...
Which countries make ugly people?
It's like they allowed them to immigrate, but it's just the ugliest people are allowed in Toronto, I feel like. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I know because I've been out there to date. That shit's trash. But I'll say Montreal, the big difference, and I think why people feel like...
y'all need to start accepting some Ukrainians.
Eastern European women are built different.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You think? Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, they've already let in a bunch. But Montreal specifically, there's so many universities and shit like that. And so many people come here to go to school.
Yeah.
And so it's got a lot of youth as a result. So there's a lot of women from all over. And I think that's like one of the biggest reasons. Also, this is a city that's very accessible and affordable. So most people here have a good quality of life. They pay little for rent. They go out, they go to the park, they go to work out, they wear whatever they want, and they work part-time and they can have a decent life. Whereas I feel like when you're struggling, it's hard to live.
There's a lot of people, there's a lot of people that are going to talk shit and say like, no, man, the rent is expensive. Yo, compared to New York?
Yeah.
Compared to Toronto?
Compared to Vancouver?
So what's a spot? Like what is like a...
I'll give you an example. I got a 3-bedroom apartment downtown. I'm paying $1,100 a month.
What?
It's a huge apartment.
See this spot right here?
1,100.
17.
What?
Yeah. Rent prices here are so... That's why I moved here to do comedy. Because I couldn't afford to live anywhere else and I could get regular spots here. And I wanted to do stand-up seriously. So I was like, I can't go anywhere else on this budget. So I'm like, let me just move here. I can pay my rent with nothing and just work and write.
And be downtown.
And do YouTube full-time. And
this motherfucker don't want to fucking... He doesn't want to drive. I understand in the city, it's a bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
Right? But if you don't want to do that, then you have to be downtown where everything is at. But then after that, you have to pay for this and that to move. So if your rent is already crazy, and then the Ubers now is crazy, and then everything is crazy, like you're drilling your pockets.
You're shocked by the prices, right? Everybody can't believe it when I say that.
That's the rent. The rent is just,
I mean, you guys don't even want to know what I pay in rent.
No, we don't.
I can imagine.
No, we don't. I got a condo. We got a condo. And it was $250.
Where? In New York?
Just on the other side of the bridge. It's like if I lived. He's about to cry. Yeah. Poor thing. It's stuff like that, and it's rising. And there's been like some bubble since the COVID situation happened, but it's nothing compared. I got cousins in Cambria Heights in Queens. What they pay, ridiculous, crazy, stupid. I'll never.
This guy still can't believe it.
I can't. Like, and whenever we like,
I'm trying to make sense of it. Is it because it's hard to live and work here if you're not bilingual, so less people can move here?
No, you can work here because a lot of people do not speak two languages.
Oh, so it's not mandatory.
That's Montreal, but if you go in the rest of the province, most of the people. A lot of the people, I'm not going to say most, but a lot of people, they don't need to speak English.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's less people in Canada that can move here and work because they don't speak French. And speaking French is a requirement if you want to get a good job, right?
Yes, to some degree, but I don't even think it's that.
I don't think it's that.
I don't think it's that deep. First off, they had an abundance of apartments for a long time.
Yeah.
And so they always had vacancies, so prices were always decent.
Yeah.
But a lot of markets are inflated for no reason.
Yeah.
A lot of the rent prices don't actually make sense.
Just say the reason why, bro.
But because
the reason why.
See the reason why, bro.
I can tell you the reason why.
China.
No, it's actually like in Montreal. In Montreal, you're not wrong, but in Montreal, there's a lot of people that came from France, actually. And since the French people were used to pay a lot more for the prices, the landlords were like, oh, okay, yeah, how much is this? Oh, this is 700. It's just 700. I pay 4,000. Oh, really? No, it's 1,200. And then it just got up in certain regions and stuff like that.
Markets are just inflating themselves to some degree to unreasonable. Even like if you think of housing prices, how much they increased over the course of the pandemic. None of that is actually based off of the real value, but the market has just been insane, and people have been trying to buy at such crazy rates. Even though like people are buying like regular ass houses like $300K above the market price. Wow. So whatever they're listing at, people can't buy houses anymore because like they see a house listed at 600,000, they go to ask and like somebody already bought it for 300K. Yeah. Bitch, what? What kind of evaluation is that? And so you just realize it's such a frenzied and such a weird spot right now. So when I look at rent prices in other places, I'm like, it doesn't have to be this high. But because everyone else around them is raising the price, like, bitch, I'm trying to make more money. So the landlords just increase it. But it shouldn't be like that. We have good rent control here too, which is useful. Because I know in some places you could have rent at $1,100 one year. They're like, nah, it's $1,700 next year.
100%.
Here, they can only raise it by like $10, $15 a year.
They're not allowed. And they have to just,
so if they do more, $10, $15, but I'm like, how much is that?
And if they do more, they have to justify by big, like you did big renovation or something like that. You did something. Wow. If you didn't do nothing, you can't justify that you increase it more than 5%. You can't.
So it sucks to be a landlord here.
Yes and no. You got recourse, but yes, it can suck. Like it can definitely suck.
If you guys started investing in real estate and buying properties, like doing it here might not be the most advantageous.
It's not like Vancouver, where it's the opposite, where the in Vancouver landlords have much more power. Than,
well, that was the issue I think with China, right? It was Vancouver, right? Didn't they pass a law saying
foreign investments? I think they taxed it differently because it was such an issue for a long time. I
kind of like that. Like, I need to look into this a little bit more, but I don't like the idea of like somebody else, and I'm sure Americans, we do this all the time. We go to some like island and we just buy up a bunch of land, and the people that actually live on the island can't even buy a place where they actually live, and they can't move out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Americans gentrify whole countries.
It's
not just
let's go. You know what I'm saying? Who's next? No, but so I could see the frustration if you're like some kid growing up in Vancouver and they're like, there's Chinese investment that's buying up all these condos, but they ain't even living there. It's one thing if you move and live there, run it. But if you're just gonna hold it empty, and now I can't buy a place.
It's like a bank. That's where they hold their money. That thing is an investment.
That is your bank.
That's their bank.
Yeah.
They come in with the money. And it's just a transfer from one. So they can't verify where it's from on that end.
That bank's paying you more.
And then they transfer the money here, and they're like, "Where's that money from?" Oh, from my bank account. What are you doing over there? Find out.
Yeah.
Go ahead and find out. And then they come here. They just store it in the bank.
Yeah.
So it's their banks.
I think it should be in favor of the tenants. I think generally a society benefits when most of the tenants have accessible housing. Because I think when things are so expensive, you're working so many hours just to try to make rent.
Yeah.
And most folks live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
That's not a right way to live.
No, it's not. But
when you have no financial flexibility whatsoever due to like housing or whatever costs, it's like you can't afford to invest in any other things, in any endeavors, in any kind of artistic expression, any kind of good quality of life. Everything is just like, I got to work to pay my bills by the end of the month. And if you get on any hard times, you're fucked beyond belief. Whereas here, because it was kind of an untouched market for a long time, we had the flexibility to actually live. Like my quality of life when I moved here shot up through the roof. I started going out to random events. I started showing up to like,
you could enjoy art.
Live a life.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is what it's like when I go out with friends to a restaurant. I ain't gonna check my account every time. I'm like, rent is easy. Like I don't want to have to stress that. And I was not making a lot of money, but because everything was so affordable, it took such a burden off my shoulders. And so I could only imagine, because I haven't lived in other places, like when you got kids or you got other obligations and you just trying to make your bills, it's so fucking stressful.
Yeah, but
so we look at us, right? I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. No, that's not what's crazy. What's crazy is your situation where you got to pay $5,000 a month to get some apartment or some condo. That's a crazy situation in like New York or Los Angeles.
The thing that happened is for the landlord is fucked up too, because it's so hard for the landlords to evict someone at some point. Because it takes some time. It takes some time, and it happened to us where we have to evict motherfuckers. And it took a whole lot Like it took a year and a half. And by the
And
time
you
they
gotta
take,
eat that the whole year.
you got to eat that, and you're not getting that money back. Because yes, wherever you go to a landlord, whatever, property association, whatever, when you go there, they tell the tenant, you got to pay the motherfucker back. You think you're getting paid? You're not getting paid.
How you gonna get
your money's gone.
Yeah.
So that's a year and a half that you don't have that money, and you got to evict that motherfucker. And sometimes you got to show up when they move. You got to be there.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people leave with light bulbs. they my light bulbs, bitch. I put them light bulbs when you got in.
What do you need light bulbs for? You're homeless.
The whole light bulbs.
What are you
I see motherfuckers live with door cabinets. The fuck? They fit on my shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they try to take everything.
They take every doors.
Really?
Yeah, people are
So
savages.
you got to be super scrutinizing when you're picking a tenant.
Yeah, that's why they ask for deposit. That's why they ask for.
You gotta know their job.
That's why they ask for. Sometimes they try for like they're gonna check your credit. They're gonna check your credit because they don't know who's you.
That's why I think balance is good. I don't think it should be completely lopsided like that.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I do think that cities that employ some form of rent control is really important because I do think like landlords over the course of a year taking their thing from 1,000 to 3,000 to 2,000. I think that's ridiculous, and I think it like changes the feel of a neighborhood to such a degree that I don't like it.
Oh man, we had an interesting privilege discussion. I'm curious. I was talking to the boys about this, but I'm curious you guys' opinions on this. Do we sometimes confuse privilege for the way it should be?
What do you mean?
Expand on this.
Yeah, please.
Like black people, you shouldn't be pulled over for no reason.
Right.
The fact that I don't get pulled over for no reason isn't privilege.
It's the norm.
It's the norm. So are we getting caught up in this word? My fear is this word turns white people off because it's like I'm some poor white motherfucker and barely paying rent, whatever, and then you're gonna walk around telling me how privileged I am. I'm like, fuck you. I don't even want to listen to this shit. Right? So now I'm turning away from the discussion when I should easily be able to acknowledge it's almost like deficit. The black D. We'll talk instead of white privilege, it's black deficit, right? Okay. Right? And it's like, how do we bring that up to bare minimum instead of saying this shit that's normal is a privilege in society? It's not a privilege that like I have constitutional rights. That's the rights.
Well, right. the thing is, the cops are allowed to pull you over. Anybody, they are allowed to pull.
Maybe that was a poor example.
No. But I mean, if they're allowed to pull anybody over, right? And so, is it that they're not doing their job when they're not pulling you over, or they're doing their job too good with us? So the fact that they slack on you is your privilege.
So that's the other side of the coin.
That's the other side. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I get what he's saying in that, like, with the difference in maybe the marketing of the word, how it kind of comes across. To me, I say, like, I don't like using the word privilege for kind of that reason, because to me, I always say privilege is oftentimes just the absence of a stress.
Yeah.
Meaning, right, like, a privilege that men might have versus women is, like, we don't have to deal with the periods.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like, listen, say what you want, that shit's a fucking bitch. Having to bleed, the whole thing. Privilege, right?
That's why they say so much.
There's an absence of a certain stress that you have to deal with. In the same way, there's ways that women can be like privileged in some ways, right? Mm-hmm. The problem I think that I have generally with like the whole idea of like white privilege or black privilege or this privilege is like oftentimes it's too much of a binary where we just look at like white and then everything else.
Yeah.
Right? And generally, if you know anything about life, it's like people are privileged in so many different ways.
Absolutely.
And in ways that oftentimes are more important than race itself. Mm-hmm. Right? Like we'll talk about financial privilege.
Yeah.
There's literally no privilege better. Be born into a rich family.
Yeah. Born into a rich country.
Yes.
Think
about where you're born and what passport you have. Yeah. I know niggas who never done nothing bad in their life. Just based off where they're born, they can't travel to a bunch of
anywhere.
Places, right? Without getting like a long visa application. So we did a video once. It was like ranking privileges.
Yes.
And we did like 30 different ones. We
had tiers. We had beauty privilege. We had man, female.
What would you rather be? I said it too. Remember we said that shit? We said, would you rather be an ugly white man or a very handsome black man? I said, I'll take a handsome black man any day.
Any day.
Because being attractive has more benefits than being a white person, in my opinion.
And in my group of friends, well, I got white friends, and in that group, when I was growing up,
you got white friends,
of course
bro?
I do.
That's what I'm talking
about. You gotta get
you
little white friends.
We out here, bro.
I gotta keep my privilege close to me. Anyway,
yeah, they own the restaurant.
But they white, but I got more privilege than them. Just in the way I was brought up.
Interesting.
The way I was growing up. Because I was able to travel. I traveled really young with my parents. Right? I was able to see other shit. Because my parents are still together. That's another privilege.
So we got to give you like a privilege score like they do like with NBA 2K players. Where like we just have all the different rankings together. Yeah, your attractiveness, your wealth, your access to, you know, I guess certain rights. I just feel like the privilege discussion is an important one, but I think that sometimes we get bogged down. It's just like a word thrown out to like shut people up. Like check your privilege is the polite way of saying stop talking.
Yeah.
Have people said that too? Have you heard that?
Maybe.
I don't know how much of a real phrase that is.
Right? No, for real. Yeah. I've heard it. You gotta check your privilege.
I've heard, bro. You know how real that is? I've heard white women say that to me.
Oh, they're the ones who use it.
Yeah, I've heard white women say that to me. I was in the show and the girl was like, yeah, you're a man. I'm like, bitch, I'm a black man.
Yeah.
And then she shut the fuck up. But she was
she
throwing.
told you to check your privilege. Like,
and I'm like, bitch, check yours.
Yeah.
Check yours. And then she sat the fuck down. But they use it on me. That's your privilege.
I don't know. I just feel like there is a good nuanced discussion to be had here, but I don't want people to confuse like normalcy with privilege because you should feel entitled to normalcy.
Right.
We don't have to feel entitled to privilege. Like if somebody's following you around a store because you're black and they're not following me around the same store, that's not my privilege.
Yeah, but that's your privilege that they're slacking on you. Because basically, them following you to store.
But they're not supposed to follow you around.
It's their store.
What they're supposed to do is irrelevant to how things are. You get what I'm saying? It's like at the end of the day, what's the standard in society? Are you treated to a better standard than others?
Yeah.
And if so, is that fairly done? And then I think that's where the word privilege comes into play. But again,
what if that standard is based on laws and legislation, right? So it's like, and you're not getting the respect of those
none
laws.
Of that matters, though. None of that matters because what matters is really how it's enforced. You could put any law on any books. Yeah. How are they applying it? That's what matters. Because you could have a law that defends you from theft. But if it's never applied, is that law even real?
Okay. In parts.
I hear what you're saying here. Because we do have a bunch of antiquated laws, like the 5 women can't be in a room together. It's the brothel law, like all these laws from like the 1500s and shit. But like I'm talking about specific in terms of like using that word. Mm-hmm. I feel like you should be entitled to what laws say you have the right to do.
We agree.
And I think if you get those entitlements, that should just be bare minimum normalcy. And whereas if it's not something that's legislation, then we can look into treatment and stress and those type of things and start labeling things as privilege. But like in terms of being like harassed when you're not supposed to be harassed, right? I don't know. I just see white people turn off at the discussion. Yeah. And it's an important discussion. And maybe it's because I have a diverse group of friends and I'm like, nah, like if we actually broke this down right here, it'd be a little bit better instead of just like throwing out fucking buzzwords.
I think I agree with that point. I think there's certain words I avoid using in conversations because I know it's pointless. Like if I'm talking to dudes, I'm like, man, toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Like there's just certain words I just shut it down. I think there's ways you can talk about the topic without using words that are so loaded. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can look at somebody and talk about their behavior without being like, hey, you're a racist piece of shit. I mean, sometimes granted they are being that, and so there's maybe a discussion for that, but oftentimes the words are just overused in a situation that's not necessary.
It's like if I'm talking to you, I'm not going to try to explain everything you're doing. There's no point of that. Just let me talk. You know what I mean? What are you doing right now? It's toxic masculinity. Yes, bitch, I am. Now let me. What I was saying is, you explaining and dissecting everything I'm saying. Just let me get to my point. Yeah. Let me get to my thing, and then after that, you'll say your point.
It's a way to avoid discussion problems.
Yeah, basically, you're
gaslighting. I be using that shit on my wife all the time. All the time. Every time we argue, I'm like, gaslight. All the time. I love that shit, bro. Bro, oh my God, I had the best shit. We were in the Bahamas, we were in the casino, dude. Like, this is something I'm realizing I really like because I can't tell my wife what to do. So when, like, people I root for them. Like when she like breaks a rule or something and the security goes like, you can't be here. Like I'll be like, yo, tell her, yo. Like tell her, like tell her get the fuck out of here. Yo. Yeah. So my wife we were playing like blackjack and she was trying to cross through the casino pit. Yeah. And you know how you're not allowed to be in the middle of the tables, right? No. But so she crosses, she gets like to like the middle and he goes, miss, you have to go back. And I know already what my wife is gonna say because you could be a pain in the ass. No. Wait, say it again.
I'm already halfway.
Son. She goes, and I literally go, she gonna say she's more than halfway. I know her, a little pain in the ass. And she goes, I literally see her mouth it. She just goes, I'm already closer to the other side. Like I'm already halfway. And the second she said that just to be a pain in the ass, I was like, yo, get her. Get her, fam.
Usually the husband, whenever we do security, there's a husband there who's like, I'm gonna have an argument with two people. It started with one. Dude. And then this mother's like, get her.
Yeah, I'm rooting for
you
security.
really want me to get her?
I'm rooting for the security, son.
Walk your ass back. I got support.
Yeah, I know. When you got a girlfriend, you got to protect her from security. When you got a wife, bro,
you got to protect her from yourself.
Yeah.
You being a piece of shit right now. Walk your ass back.
You dap him up. Yo, thank you, fam. I needed that one. I needed this small victory.
Did your wife acknowledge you?
She was furious at me, yo, because I was at the table going, do it! In front of the whole casino. I was like, yeah, let her know she can't pass. How you just gonna think you can go anywhere?
Everybody thinks she's just a jackass. No, he's the husband.
That's
Shut
right.
up. All y'all.
Oh, you're going to take his side? I believe in the rules. We have to abide by the rules, man. Don't be angry.
What you going to say about that?
Exactly.
Because
your privilege
you
is
mad?
so.
You mad because I follow the rules?
Exactly.
Walk your ass back.
That's how you know I'll never cheat on you. I'm following the rules of this.
Exactly. Yo, that's funny. That's funny.
Now walk your ass back.
Babe, I'm only halfway in this pussy. Is that cheating? I was only halfway in this pussy. That's funny.
How's the response been for you to the whole Will Smith saga? I know it's kind of been dragging on. It almost feels like a week now.
Bro, it was
2 weeks.
We put like a little roast at the beginning of the episode.
I saw that. That was brilliant. That was amazing.
Man.
Majestic.
Thank you. And that shit is our biggest episode ever.
Yeah, 2.2.
We got, is that 2.2?
2.2.
Yeah.
Holy
So,
shit.
2.2.
Man.
But it was great.
2. We hit 2.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
So like that, and then just clipping and putting it out, that was just, I mean, it was just crazy. It just went viral. Mm-hmm. But it was a cool moment. It was just, I mean, for us, like creatively, like content wise, and I feel like
it's a good reaction. I think most comedians had. I think I had a very good reaction to it.
Yeah. Because it was like weird. It's like you're defending your tribe, and it's cool to do that.
Yeah.
And you get to do it using the thing that like you know how to do, just being funny.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't say jokes, and it's like, well, here we go. Yeah. What do you guys think about it?
Yeah, I think it's the right reaction. I think most of us, I think on the surface, all agree violence is probably not the smartest response.
No.
It's the most sensible. In a civilized society, just being violent against somebody who said things you didn't like, right? Probably isn't the most sensible. So I think comedians just coming back with jokes or whatever they had in their pockets or whatever takes they had. I was really glad to see that rather than people just yelling on the screen. You fucking, you know what I mean? Like they came at it, and I think in a way that really highlights the strength of what comics do. I don't know if you were like this. For me, like I felt it on a visceral level for some reason. This one like really bothered me for a lot. The reaction of people around it, the action itself. And then as I said on it more, it's also like what Will Smith represents and like what that moment was. It was like, it really resonated me much more than I thought it would. I've been thinking about it pretty much the entire week because I'm like, there's so much there. There's so much there. And you know, one of the things that really kind of stuck out to me is, I don't know why, but you said something during one of our videos that we filmed.
Yeah, I remember what I said.
You said if that was Ricky Gervais, do you think you would have put his hands on him, right?
I don't think you would have.
And I think with black men specifically, like the way that we hold on to our masculinity, it's very personal. You know, and Will Smith himself, I remember he talked about how he's felt a coward most of his life. In one of his memoirs, he talked about that in depthly. And I felt like in that moment when I saw him get up there, I felt like that was like a very fragile man reacting impulsively.
It was not strong. It was not strong at all.
I've seen that my whole life.
Definitely.
I've seen him to the slightest offense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that was most of our youth, right?
Yeah.
That was really that. That was not Will Smith the man. That was Will Smith the kid. You know what I mean? Popping off like that. Yeah. And when I said I really thought you brushed it up. You brushed it off when I said that. I thought you're like, whatever. I don't think so. But it's funny that you thought about it. But yeah, I really think that if it was a white man there, because of the relationship that we have with a white man and the relationship that we have with, it's going to be, then the media would have been some other thing. It would have. I think the media would have been like, yeah, a white man putting down a black woman, and then the black man, it would have been viewed differently as well. It would have, because
more acceptable.
It would be more acceptable actually if not people wouldn't accept it more. Like, I mean, white America, Bible Belt would have been like, oh my,
Why can't you take a joke?
bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean? They look like. I think it would have been to think like that, but the media would have been like, yeah, a white man putting down a black woman and the black man stand up. He would have been on the whole ass pedestal, but he wouldn't have done it. He would have probably got up and shouted, but to walk up to the dude and slap him, it's like it's not working, having a job when you're getting disrespected by your boss and walking your boss and not quitting, but slapping the motherfucker. There's that whole relationship that we have as well with white people and with us within the community.
Now, here's a question though.
Okay.
Would Chris Rock have made that joke about Beyonce?
I'm pretty sure he would have. Oh, because of Jay-Z, you think?
No, I don't know. I
You
just
think Jada's less respected than Beyonce?
I don't think that Chris respects Jada. I think that
But bro.
Yeah, I think that he sees her as like Will's wife.
Nobody does.
That may be true. But I don't know if Chris is making that joke about Beyonce.
It was already a thing whenever she was protesting about Oscar So White.
Yeah.
And she's like, everybody turned into a whole ass Chris Brown.
Yeah.
You can't even get in. You can't even get in. Like, stop talking. You're not invited.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She made it really difficult for Chris Rock because when he agreed to host that, and she was critical of that, and then every interview he did about hosting those Oscars became about if he was a sellout or not.
Exactly. And then after that, you have the whole fact that she hasn't stopped opening her mouth about her goddamn relationship and everything else. So it's everybody that
opening her mouth a lot is the problem. Yeah. To
say the least.
I mean, that's really the issue here.
Boom. So I don't think it's not even Chris Rock. It's everybody. Everybody laughed at those jokes. Hard.
I wish fucking Will could just be honest, bro. It's like, say you don't like other guys fucking your wife, and that's what's causing all this stress and trouble for you. And stop trying to like evolve past it. You know, like you don't like when guys fuck your wife, which is the most relatable thing. Right? Like, I would not like if guys fucked my wife. I would hate that, dude. I would hate that. And there's one thing that I could do, which would be divorce her so that guys wouldn't fuck my wife anymore.
Because she wouldn't be your wife anymore.
Because she wouldn't be my wife.
Right.
And it's just like, and he's like, you're writing, first of all, the audacity to write like a self-help book, like when guys fuck your wife. Like,
but he's been fucking other people. It's
not about if he fucks other people. There's just something about people fucking your wife. You know what I mean?
Like, got the title for this episode.
Yeah, like, no, but like, right? Imagine he literally was just, he came out and be like, guys, I'm sorry, I'm really stressed out. It's like everybody fucks my wife, and I fucking lost it right there. I think Chris would be like, dude, forgiven, bro. Like, I could see how stressful that is. If every person that you meet and you shake their hands in Hollywood, you're like, are you fucking my wife? Like, you're not exactly sure. He's at the event where all the people there could be fucking his wife. He has no clue. Everybody at that event is looking at them going, damn, bro, he just lets people fuck his wife?
Right.
Like, what a loser. Yeah. Because he's letting it happen. It's not like, listen, we can't control who our wives fuck, right? That's the reality.
Yeah.
We can't control that. But if you know and let it happen, oh, God.
There's the whole Tupac thing, and everything came back out.
Tupac's dead, bro.
And he's still alive. He's still alive thanks to Jada.
Bruh.
There's a thing that came out that there's a letter that fucking Willow, the daughter wrote.
To who?
I don't even know if that's confirmed.
Her daughter wrote to Tupac?
Basically Jada made her daughter write to Tupac.
Yo, this woman is a sorceress, bro. This woman is a sorceress, bro.
I know voodoo. I never seen that kind of sorcery.
This is different.
That's some next level shit.
This is next level sorcery,
that's some next level shit.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
And you have to imagine what Will represented too.
That's what I'm saying.
See that
Will was my hero. Will was my hero.
Yeah, I remember being in Ethiopia and I was watching Arab satellite TV and they had 3 shows. They had
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
They had the Jamie Foxx show.
Yeah, the Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Fire.
Okay.
Carried that whole show. He was absolutely incredible. Jamie's a legend. Oh, what a great show. Yes.
And then they had the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I used to watch episodes on rerun all the time.
All the time.
So everybody knew about the man.
Dude,
and so just watching him today and just seeing how like just fragile he looks. And it really is sad.
Yeah.
It is absolutely sad. And you see the way the wife kind of just drug. And I didn't want to believe it when she was doing the Red Table Talk stuff before.
Son.
Watching how far it's come now.
Son,
She's a straight up weirdo.
Son, remember when he called her out on cheating and she kind of gave him attitude?
The entanglement?
Son, when I saw that, I was like,
that's weird.
Something's off here.
Yeah.
You fucked your son's friend.
Yo, that's the weird.
Yeah.
Isn't he a recovering addict?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but she all on that shit.
That's crazy.
You fucked your son's friend. Yeah.
And
Even if they're not friends,
and what happened? I had an entanglement with Ron. Like, bitch, you know what happened? I got that little flame. Like, shut up. It was that. I was like,
no, Will's got to get out. Will's out of that marriage within 3 years, guaranteed.
I don't think so.
Yeah, guaranteed.
I don't think so.
Buddy.
You know,
he's broken. He's miserable.
He said something after the first marriage. He said, like, when that happened, that shit was like one of the worst points in my life. And he said, I refuse to quit on this thing. I'd rather die than quit.
Quit.
And I think what we just saw was a man who'd rather die than quit on his thing.
Yeah.
He'd rather go up and slap other people for the slightest words rather than divorce his wife. Yeah. You're seeing a sensible solution coming from a sensible frame. He's saying, when I said till death do us part, I meant it.
I said,
like whoever you want to fuck, I'm slapping niggas out here in these streets because they said something crazy. That's what you're seeing.
She's just gonna start fucking bigger guys too. Like dudes he can't slap. You know what I mean? Dude, imagine walking home and your wife's just getting her fucking head smashed into the wall, dude. Like, and you have to hear it. like it, you know what I'm saying? Like you're on your compound in Calabasas and you just hear, and he's making her come and you can't make her come. Like, dude, it's just foul, right?
It's foul.
You know what? You would make me nervous as a dad.
He's reading fucking self-help books, like the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Like I'd love to
happiness for my wife.
Watch the movie, son.
7 pounds of dick.
You know whose bone is really dense? August Alsina. You know what I mean? Go get your machine.
Oh, man. Imagine how nervous as a father he must be every time his son says, "I'm bringing a friend over for."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro. How many friends you got? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Can't you got some girlfriends?
But that's the thing. I think fame is really weird. Fame is weird, and all that Hollywood shit is filled. Because ain't Zoe trying to fuck Jaden too?
Nah, that
when he was 16?
That was just them. I think she was just being like cute. Like girls do that all the time.
I don't know about none of that stuff.
I think honestly,
weird,
no, I don't think so. I think that she was just being like. I think women will do that because there's absolutely no
harm.
No, yeah, there's no harm, and also like no way of like misconstruing it. I think it's like a girl saying like, "Oh my God, look how handsome your younger brother is." I don't think she was actually like sexually attracted, and if she was sexually attracted in a legal way, she's not going to share it on a fucking interview.
I don't know. I think women can say that kind of stuff about younger men in the past. If a dude was like an old dude's talking about young women that way, then it looks a little sus.
Yeah, we're agreeing.
Yeah.
Like women can say it, and then we don't assume it's something bad.
No, we don't assume that.
Yeah,
Jada's fucking her son's best friend who's recovering, and that's super sus. Yeah. What you mean? You think if Will was fucking Willow's best friend who was a recovering
fresh
addict,
out of rehab?
Yeah, that's sus, bro. I think also the reaction to it was like something that people. I mean, I saw a bunch of trash Twitter takes like that were really popular. Like, why do we need comedians anymore? These folks think they can get away with anything and shit like that. And what you're seeing with this stuff is the same thing you're seeing with speech in general. Folks are just like, if I don't like what you're saying, like, we're gonna just punch.
Yeah.
Political opinions, jokes, it doesn't matter. If I feel some type of way. And I even heard something interesting, right? I think Al was saying that on your podcast. He was saying, like, listen, you can't control how people are going to react.
Yeah.
Some along those lines.
Maybe, yeah.
And to me, it kind of stuck out to me a little bit because I feel like I get that you can't control how people are going to react, but it doesn't mean that we should condone or accept a bunch of these ways of reacting. You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
Like, if somebody going to be funny like that, like, what, a violent reaction to a joke? If we
say something back. Like, that's legal.
Yes.
You're allowed to talk back.
Yes.
You know, you make fun of him.
Yes.
Say the worst thing you could possibly say to that person. And then he shouldn't be able to slap you either. And then just keep on sparring verbally. But the second you escalate the thing to something illegal, which is assault, like, it is what it is. Yeah. You know, I guess people are really that afraid of jokes that they don't feel like they could come back with something.
I hated the fact that folks said something like, oh, it's his wife. It's like, the bitch is a celebrity.
They're sitting in the front row at an event where people get made fun of.
She's a celebrity.
Yeah.
If you guys would not say that we can't critique celebrities, make fun of them, say anything about the celebrities,
Oh shit.
you bringing the food out like he's gonna eat it
Oh
right now.
shit. Oh shit. Hold on.
You're
Hold on a
the best.
second. Let me don't put that too close without me trying it, man. Come on.
Oh, now you want to try it.
I just want to see, bro. Yeah, you got a bunch of stones and sand in those boxes, you know?
You fucking piece of garbage.
About to be a bunch of Haitians hollered at me. Like, yo, you trying to see some rocks and sand? Where you Miami, bitch?
Calm down, bro. I got your address of your studio. I'll send some family over.
Come on, sapase or whatever. All right. What do we got right here?
We got pork.
What's this? Plantain?
Yep.
Plantain.
You came into your shit much later. Because you were what, 39?
38.
38. So you had started popping up last 3-4 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I've had like waves.
Waves?
I've had waves. Yeah, like I had success on TV pretty early in my career.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that kind of died down for a little bit.
Yeah. Then I did the podcast thing with Charlotte, and then we kind of built that. But like, yeah, the first wave of my career was doing like TV shows. I just had a bunch of TV shows, and then did some acting stuff and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Was that a time where you felt like you had access to money, or was it just like enough to be like above?
I thought I had money.
Okay.
And then I made real money.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I didn't even have money back then. But yeah. Yeah, it's different. Money's just a fascinating thing, like what it exposes in you, like what you really want. Like I don't really buy fancy stuff. I mean, I can do things that I want to do obviously easier, but my whole thing with money is like I just want to be able to unplug from the matrix. Like I want to get to that level of wealth where I don't have to do anything. Everything I do is because I want to do it. And right now, I have money, but I have to work. Like I have to work. I have to continue doing it to maintain the lifestyle and continue building and be able to take care of my family, you know, my wife's family, et cetera. So it's like, what is the number where I can just go, you know what, Tuesday, I don't want to do anything Tuesday. What is the number where I get to unplug from the system, where I get off the hamster wheel? I've chosen a career where I love what I do, so it's like the best hamster wheel ever. Like I dream to be on the wheel. I wake up in the morning like
You're running, but you got to support it. Just your legs.
Like I love it.
What would you even do if you unplugged?
The same shit.
That's my whole point. It's like, is there really even an unplugging to some degree?
It's just
I feel like humans.
Yeah, because you have a
rare thing. It's just a rare thing in the human existence to be able to be so financially secure that everything you do in your life is because you want to do it, not because you have to. And I just want to taste that as part of, you know, this short time I have here on Earth. I want to see what it's like to just be like, okay.
What's wrong with having to do stuff?
Honestly, like nothing, and our brains are probably built to have to do it. I'm just curious what happens to your brain when you don't have
Sometimes you just want to get off. You want to take off. You don't want to take time off. You just want to unplug and want to be able to. Because whenever you unplug, you still have to think about whenever you go back.
Yeah.
I never 100% unplug because I'm still thinking about shit. I have to go back, and I don't never really unplug because even every time that I unplugged, some shit happened and we had to do something. We had some shit happen, and I had to wire myself back to the matrix because we had to do some shit, whether it was remote, whether it was alive, whether it was whatever. So when I'm off, I'm not off completely because I got another thing going. I got to think about other things. So sometimes you just want to really unplug, not have to
see how you create there. Like when you're unplugged, you might create differently. You might be inspired to do different things, say different things.
You don't have the stress of the time. You don't have the stress of. It's a different way of working and a different way of thinking. But
But we could also experience that, and then we could go, oh, this is no different than being plugged.
And then you just go back to be plugged.
But at least you know that.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of fun to know these things. I don't know. My whole thing is like we have a short time on this planet, right? And like there's certain biology that's built into us, and I just want to reach the limits of that. I want to see what happens. Like, okay, you get a little money, you get comfortable. Is my motivation still there? Am I still hungry? Do I want to take over? Or do I want to topple everything? Am I still competitive? Yeah, okay, that was cool to find out.
What have you discovered by yourself? Do you feel like you're more competitive, more ambitious now that you have made something?
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes?
Yeah, nothing changes. I do find that like I'm happy with my disposition with money. Like when I'm more successful, I try to reward the people who have contributed to that success. And you figure those things out when you get there. You're like, you'll get money. You're like, okay, do I pay my guys more? And if I was happy, like that was my inclination. I was also happy that like I was very excited for my guy's success. You know, like seeing Akash really start to sell tickets and do well with the specials and all this kind of stuff. Like, I was really excited for him. And I think that there are situations where people are jealous, and it's like, you don't know that until you're in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had a cool moment where I was like, this is awesome. Like, I'm really excited that my brother is living his dream. And yeah, that was just really cool. So seeing those things, seeing like who you really are in these environments, I think is a cool, it's a cool experience, human experience.
The talking shit is real though.
Talking shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, noticing motherfuckers talk like what they really when they realize and when they start calculating you.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that and that and that. That means that you got that.
Oh, when they start counting your pockets.
When they start calculating your pockets, now you
Yeah.
see the real talking shit. You're like, oh, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
That's how. Okay, all right. Like, I'm pretty sure that if this shit like happened, if this shit would have happened like 10 years ago, I would have felt something. I would have been very bothered about it. Yeah, I would have been a different person, throw hands and shit like that.
Really?
Like, what that shit you say? Walk up to motherfuckers, definitely.
But now you got too much shit to lose.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I just calm myself down.
Yeah.
I do calm myself down. But back then, popping off was not an issue.
Yeah, because you didn't. I mean, I don't know what you had back then, but like when you have things to lose, you have a business, you have a relationship. It's like you know what I mean. It's like it's so much harder. Like that's why Will was such a fucking idiot,
No, that's exactly what I was thinking.
right?
Yeah.
Like
You know,
Let's go.
nah.
it's like it's a lot of people on the internet that be like, yeah, you got to protect your wife, and it's just like,
How do you protect her? By going to jail, stupid?
yeah,
Like is that a sign of love to you? Like,
yeah.
that
By not being
angered
able
me
to work.
so much because it really reinforced the idea that men's like show of love and gratitude is by being like what physically fucking violent.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So who's gonna pay the bills? Who's gonna protect you when I'm literally not physically present? You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to say that because this man got away with it. You slap most people like that, it's a fight afterwards, and you going to jail for assault.
Over.
It's not going to just be battery.
There's not a lot.
You going to jail for assault? Like, is that love to you? To me, like, just sometimes when I hear shit like that, I'm like, do you not recognize like what you're expecting from your partner for them to risk like putting their whole life, getting a criminal record, all this bullshit for what? Because you couldn't handle a fucking joke? Are you serious?
And it's fucked up because
That's crazy
It's
to
fucked
me.
up because I didn't hear one talk. All the motherfuckers I've been talking about that toxic masculinity weren't talking now. Because if you're according to what you're saying, that shit was toxic.
Yeah,
but I
he's
hear
fragile.
no motherfucker. They're like, no, he's protecting his wife and blah blah blah. And blah. Nah, let's put that shit in the that's in the pot with the rest of it.
yeah.
In their defense, I understand how a lot of women out there may have been with people who felt like they never had their backs when it mattered. Right?
Yeah.
So I could understand that those women seeing that in that moment said, I wish my partner would have taken care of me when I was being hurt by people.
Right.
You didn't have my back. So they see that and they see that as a beautiful thing, but they don't even understand how warped that is. And like, wanting that is okay, but expecting what Will did in those kind of circumstances, like you want your partner to go to jail for you. And it makes me realize like a lot of ladies out there don't understand the implications of violence. They don't understand like what it means when two dudes do that in general sense. Because it's fine for them. I do that to most people. I know we going at it. And what happens if they got weapons on them or some shit like that happens? Because best believe if I start punching somebody and they got a concealed carry, they gonna pull out their gun.
Yeah.
So it's just the expectation of that is crazy to me. It's crazy. I told you I've been rummaging on this the whole weekend. It was like a lot of different flashpoints for me. But I said this, I think for a lot of folks in North America, this thing is going to be bigger than whatever's happening in Ukraine.
Yeah. And we're glad.
Why is that?
Because we don't want to talk about that. We were faking being interested in that.
Yeah.
And this is like way closer to our like intellect level.
Facts.
You know what I mean? like this is what we're experts at. We're experts in
sad, but
celebrity
true.
gossip.
Yeah.
So we're so excited that we get to stop pretending to be these like, geopolitical experts.
Yeah.
But we're not.
We're not.
But we just want to gossip. And then gossip got too fucking high stakes. We need Kardashians. We need, random shit talk. Maybe
Kanye.
Yeah, that is what we're great at in America. Because life is good here. So we need goofy shit to talk about. Yeah. We don't want the real high stakes stuff.
Yeah, that shit was serious. That Ukraine stuff is serious.
Until Russia's on her shores, like I don't care.
Yeah.
Until they drafting motherfuckers.
Yeah.
At the grocery store.
Violence, let them do their thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just chilling in the back. I'm just chilling in the back. I'm not even trying to pay attention to that. But this stuff, yeah. Did you, outside of the comic angle, was there any aspect of that really kind of stood out to you?
About the Will and Jada thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I was just so disappointed because Chris Rock is my hero and Will Smith was my hero. And I mean, it was just like, I'm seeing both of these guys in a light that I don't like to see him. I didn't think Chris looked great either, to be honest with you. Now,
a lot of people kept saying that. That's really, he's being professional.
No.
He was having, like you said, he was having a bad set.
Yeah.
That was a nigga. Yeah. When you said that, I felt that inside. When we played the video and said that nigga's having a rough set, and I was like,
let me say this: that moment is going to define the Oscars probably for the next 10 years, 15, going backwards. There is literally not a more iconic moment in award show history than that. Nothing. No. Before that, I think it was like Kanye jumping on stage, but Beyonce had the greatest.
Yeah, and that's Grammys.
Huh?
And that's Grammys.
That was Grammys or MTV something.
Yeah. But I'm just talking about award show in general. This is the greatest award show moment ever.
Whatever. But like next, I don't think next year there's not even going to be Oscars.
Yeah.
They stopped the Oscars.
They're gonna do it. What you said? You said it was sad for you because you think Chris didn't look good.
Yeah, I don't think Chris looked great. Like, I understand what he was managing, or I assume. Again, I don't know the man, but like, I assume he's managing his relationships in Hollywood. And he's like, if I just fight someone at the Oscars, I might not get to be in fucking Zootopia or like do these movies that I'm doing. And
but he doesn't necessarily want to fight Will.
Well, there's also that, but like, he also didn't just roast the shit out of him, right? Because he's like, I'm not going to make this more of a scene. And I think that he wasn't like, I have to look out for the Oscars. I'm sure that there's, some personal benefit there. It's like, I also have relationships here and I want to show this professionalism. I've been punched on stage. It throws you off for sure, right? Like, it's...
Huh?
I've been punched on stage.
What do you mean you punched on stage?
Like, I was doing stand-up and a guy punched me.
A guy got up and went on stage?
Well, I wasn't on stage. I was at like this... So in New York, there's like, I don't know if you guys have this shit out here, but they call it like the hood room circuit, right? So it's not like... It's not... That's the polite way. The Chitlin circuit is what they call it. Right? Yeah. It's basically the black clubs, right? And... So there was one, shout out to Smokey Suarez. I mean, he's just this legendary comic in New York, and he ran a room called Cafe Mocha uptown. And I was young in comedy. I was just learning the game, and I went up, and I didn't really care about doing hood rooms and not hood rooms. Like, I grew up in New York. Like, it wasn't like a big deal for me to like see not white people in the crowd. Like, it just wasn't shocking. But I understand if you're a comic from like Maine and you come to New York to be a comic, like there's like two scenes to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So like, but I was like, yeah, okay, I'll just go to the show. And I'm making fun of some Puerto Rican guy. And keep in mind, this isn't like you're at comedy clubs. You're at like a bar. So you're performing kind of like in front of the bar. Like people can get up, use the bathroom. They got the fucking Knicks game on the TV. It's wild. And I was making fun of this dude, Puerto Rican dude. And I wasn't funny. I was just kind of like busting his balls. It was early on. And he got up and he walked up to me and I was like, what's up? Like I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, is he getting a drink? Is he fighting? Like what the fuck is going on? He stands in front of me. And I'm like, what's up? And then he swings on me, right? They grabbed him, and then they grabbed me. Luckily for me, before I could do nothing, they grabbed me, right? Because I wasn't going to do anything. So I got bailed out. Like, hold me back. Like, they did one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just very good. And because I'm in fucking Harlem, at this guy's home. He could live upstairs. Yeah. Like I'm in a place where I don't know where I'm good, right? So
you don't know who.
I don't know who's there. I mean, this is like the neighborhood spot. It's not like people take cabs here. It's like you live around here, you come through. So,
you got cousins around here.
Boom. So basically they grabbed him, they threw him out, and then I remember Smokey handed me the mic. He was like, "All right, man, keep doing your thing," and. But I roasted him a little bit. He was gone, but still, like I addressed what happened. I didn't go, I'm gonna be professional and go back into my jokes. I addressed what happened, and then I went and have fun. I went back there the next week, and it was all good. But the first reaction when you get punched in a place where you're not expecting it at all is not, okay, now it's on, we're fighting, we're scrapping. The first reaction is, what the fuck just happened? Shock.
That's facts.
Absolute shock.
Yeah.
And so I have tons of empathy for Chris for that. It's what happened after that I was bummed. Like when Will was telling him, keep your wife's name out of my mouth, he was like, I will. You know, fuck that. I won't. You know what I'm saying? I will say these jokes about your wife. And there was a moment where he almost lit him up. He goes, He goes, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. And Chris goes, and he had something in the chamber. And he was ready to let that shit rip. And I wish he did, bro. I wish he did.
I think it was really just more shot. It was just shot. You host the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
You do not expect to get decked in the mouth.
And then nothing happened. Like, no
and then
security,
nobody said
like,
shit. No security, nothing. Nobody rushed in, nothing.
Keep reading the teleprompter? Like, nah, it was wild disrespectful.
You're at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Didn't they give him an ovation? Didn't they give Will an ovation? Imagine being backstage and they gave this nigga an ovation.
So how do you feel? So it's
they hate Chris Rock. He's been making fun of all of them for the last decade. They were happy that Chris did that. I mean, that Will did that. All the people in that room were rooting for Chris. These people never get made fun of in their life. They never get pushed back in their life. And then one day a year, because they need the validation of being at the Oscars, they put themselves in the line of fire. And the guy who's firing the bullets is often Chris Rock. And they hate it. And it drives them fucking crazy. And they love to see him get slapped.
I think you're 100% accurate, but
yeah, it's gross. Hollywood's gross, dude.
It was gross, but you know what? We can't even just say Hollywood's gross because a lot of people online were cheering that shit on like it was fucking fantastic. Yeah. So I refuse to just put on Hollywood because the people like, really think that shit's kosher.
People are like
people think that shit's kosher. People think going up to slap somebody you disagree with or fighting them, physical violence, like, is acceptable.
Why you say kosher, not halal?
You know, because I'm an infidel. I already know what it is.
He left the halal life a long ass time ago.
No, it's like I don't even pretend. Like, listen, I grew up in that, but I'm not about that life. So it already said. I get people message me all the time. Yo, you're gonna find your way back to Allah one day. I was like, nigga, I'm masturbating right now.
I got my dick in my hand. But I understand what you're saying. They really think that challenging motherfuckers or pushing someone or going to someone, and I don't know if it's a culture that they think that nothing is gonna happen.
No, they think that their feelings matter more than anything. Yeah, that's what I've literally heard people say. You can't control how people react. You can't expect people to act a certain way. If you say something might happen. People just say that. I'm not disagreeing that something might happen.
I say that.
But people say that like it's a defense.
Yeah.
That's what kills me.
That's what you're saying.
I know when I walk through the street, some shit might pop off. I'm not mad at that. I understand that.
Don't make it right.
Like, when I was walking, somebody punched me. Well, shit might happen, nigga. Like, is that your first response?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, it's mine.
You know what it's like? You know what it's like? This is what it's like. I was raped. Well, what were you wearing?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing it all over. I'm like, bro, y'all are bugging. You guys are bugging.
That's
right
interesting. Now. It's like, you don't know how people could react to you wearing something like that. That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
Interesting.
That's what they're saying. Well, she had alopecia. I'm like, bro, y'all killing me right now.
No, stop
did he know?
No, he didn't know. Nobody
even
knew.
if
Jada had a baldy her whole career. Like, set it off. She literally shaved her head at the end of the movie.
Even if he did know.
Also,
what's alopecia? It's like, why is it a disease when women go bald?
It's an autoimmune disease. She's not even fully bald. She got a couple of patches.
Yeah.
And so she shaved it off. But I digress. All this to say, I don't know. For me, just...
It doesn't matter.
It's just no. But I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you leave those likes and those comments in the comments below. And Andrew, thank you for coming out, man.
Yo, thank you guys for having me. I love what you guys do, man.
You're going to finish your food.
Anytime. I'm not finishing shit. Send that back to Haiti, bro.
Hey, you know what happened with the last time the Vice President told me to send something back to Haiti?
What happened?
Yeah, I challenged them to a fight. Well, they challenged me.
And what happened?
They pussied out.
They pussied out?
Yeah.
Well, shit, bro. Just remember, if you ever challenge me, I still got the machetes at the fucking studio.
Wait, I got some too. Bring yours, I'll bring mine.
Remember when you came in? Was it on video? Where you're like, no, you said some shit. You're like, yeah, I collect machetes. I like them. I was like, that's one of the most terrifying things I've ever heard in my life.
I collect guns now.
And he's like, yeah, it's a good farming tool.
It is.
But anyways, man.
I love you guys, man. Thank you guys for having me. Peace.